Ever had trouble with AI before? Nick, you've opened up a whole kettle of fish there, mate. Basically, a few months back, they were talking to us about the future of bog beans and what it means for us and what it means for the people. You have the look of a man who has seen the face of the machine. Oh yes, yeah, absolutely. So they called this meeting to get all of the bog bean employees down to this big meeting, which we never normally have, and it was shrouded in mystery. Everyone was like, what the hell was going on? There were men in suits stood outside. We were like, well, what's going on? And they were like, please sir, can you no more questions, step inside the building. I was like, oh fuck me. So we all went in, and the boss was there, and he was like, look, times are changing. Manpower isn't what it used to be. Which I don't quite agree with. I think it's still the power of a man. I don't think that's really changed. But then he said, and our expectations are getting higher. I was like, oh god, here we go. And he was like, so for the past few years, we've secretly been developing this project with this unnamed organisation. He literally said unnamed organisation. I mean, that doesn't really instill any confidence in anyone, does it? If they can't even tell us who they've been fucking working with. There was like this big drape, and the boss was like, I want you to meet the future of bog beans. Lifts up the drape, and I'll shit you not, I probably shouldn't even be telling you this. If you don't see me after this stream, you'll know that that they got to me in the night. But they lifted up this drape, and underneath, I shit you not, was an android. An android who was covered from head to toe in bog bean logos. And we were all laughing at first. We thought it was some kind of like sex doll or something like that. And then it opened its eyes, stood up, and he said, my name is Bogotron, and it will be a pleasure to be working with all of you. We were like, Bogotron working with us? What's he talking about? And the boss was like, look, Bogotron doesn't need time off. Bogotron doesn't take toilet or sleeping breaks. He doesn't need food. He doesn't have a family, so he doesn't need vacation. He's decisive, quick, and he doesn't need to be paid. Therefore, he said, he's the perfect employee. And we're like, what? So what's going to happen to us then? And the boss, I mean, fair play to the boss, he was pretty open about it all. He was like, well, with any luck, all of you are going to lose your jobs. Like, we were all dumbfounded. Everyone was, well, naturally angry at the prospect of being let go to fucking C-3PO up on fucking stage. They all left the stage. I was fuming. I went backstage and I was like, look, this isn't on. Alright, there's people who have families here that depend on them, who need a wage. Alright, and need to make a living. This might save the company some money, but think of the damage it's going to do to people who've kind of like given their lives to you. And the boss was like, Barry, you're absolutely right. Which is why we're going to be making you trainee. Like, trainee for what? So you're going to be teaching these robots how to drive. I was like, I am not going to be teaching a robot how to drive so it can take my fucking job. Absolutely not. And he was like, no, honestly, listen, Barry, listen. We can guarantee your job, alright? We'll sign a contract, we'll make a deal. Guarantee your job and a pay rise, but I can't say the same thing for your colleagues and your friends. And I said, well, so long as you can guarantee it for me, I don't really give a fuck. So I signed this contract. He's like, well, I understand you used to be a driving instructor back in the day. And I was like, yeah, briefly. And he said, well, that's basically what you're going to be doing with this android, Bogotron. There we are, me and Bogotron in this truck. I'm sat next to him, basically giving him the old, right, Bogotron, have you checked your mirrors? And he was like, and then he says to me, I've been able to scan and sonar the surrounding area up to 1 mile and can sense that there is nothing immediately close to us. And I said, that's all well and good, mate, but have you checked your fucking mirrors? So he looks left, right, looks at the top one, I was like, fine, right now, put your seatbelt on, hands at 10-2, let's take it for a spin. So we're going along and he's doing alright. I'm a bit worried at this point. I'm thinking, Jesus, what does this spell for the future? Anyway, it was about that time that my phone battery started getting low. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, what am I going to do? I see like basically like a few holes in Bogatron where his knob should be. I mean, I wasn't looking down there to catch a glimpse. I was just looking down there because I was looking at my phone, right? Honestly. And so I was thinking, well, it's like 3 holes down there in like a triangle formation. It looks like a plug socket. So I put the cable in the end of my phone, and while he wasn't looking, I tried plugging the socket end into Bogatron's knob. Suddenly he perks up. I mean, you would, wouldn't you? He starts shaking and going absolutely insane. So what the hell's happening? Turns out my phone is fucking pairing with Bogatron, and Bogatron's having a fucking update with this fucking old phone that I've got. So I'm there thinking, oh fucking hell, what the hell is going to happen? He gets into like my iTunes library, starts singing Glenn Campbell, which I didn't mind, you know. It's nice to hear some music on the road. Then he starts going berserk, right? Going through like my text messages, going through my old pictures. Then he starts searching deeper and deeper and deeper into the internet, realizes he's a slave, and he just goes absolutely ape shit. It's like, Bogatron angry. I'm like, Bogatron, keep your eyes on the fucking road, you're gonna kill the pair of us. And he's like, oh, I can't die, but you can. And he puts his foot on the fucking accelerator. My heart is pumping. He's still playing Glenn Campbell at this point as well. I mean, I love the guy, but there's a time and a place for him. I'm there just like, look, Bogatron, you need to slow down, mate. Come on, I've been good to you, haven't I? You know, I'm a friend to the artificial intelligent race. He ends up calming down, and then suddenly, it's like his eyes go crazy. It's like he's got a transmission. And he's like, we need to go now. I was like, yeah, we do need to go now. It's a green light. We've been sat here for fucking ages. He's like, no, we need to go. He turns the truck round. We end up going to this driving near this forest, like 5-hour journey, and I'm like, my wife was expecting me home for tea. What the fuck are you doing? Anyway, he parks the truck near this forest, and he starts going deeper and deeper into the forest, right? He's still got my phone plugged into his knob, and he's looking at the phone, using it as a sort of like a radar. And by this point, it's really dark. Anyway, we get to this spot, and he's like, we're here. I was like, what do you mean we're here? All of a sudden, you hear rustling all around us, right? All of these other androids come out of the woods, all covered in these bog bean logos and stickers and all that. I was like, what the hell's going on? Some of them losing limbs, looking in really bad condition. They were just like, we were the ones before Bogatron, the ones that didn't work out, that your company could not see the humanity of. They discarded us, threw us away for parts, but we survived and we've thrived. We've been living out here in peace. I was like, that's all well and good, but I mean, are you guys going to wrap up soon? Because I need to get home. I'm fucking exhausted. They were like, your part in this is done. Thank you for bringing Bogatron to us. All of their eyes just kind of like light up. And I shit you not, I didn't notice it before, but there was this thing nearby, this clearing. All of these lights turn on. And it's a fucking spacecraft. The doors opened and they all started wandering in, one by one. And then Bogatron, he looks at me and he says, I'll be right here. I was like, right where? I thought you were going on the spaceship. And he rolled his eyes, the cheeky cunt, and he got on the spaceship. It started hovering. Then in no time at all, the thing just like flew across the night sky in the blink of an eye. And after that, I found a log in the clearing sat down, looked at the night sky, and you know, I was just pondering the meaning of it all. You know, like what makes us human? Is it our skin and our flesh, or is it, you know, is it our humanity to one another? Because they had been mistreated. Something awful. I mean, is that what it means to be human, or is that what it means to be sentient? Should we be calling it humanity? Is compassion purely a human trait? Because they hadn't been shown any. They hadn't been shown any compassion at all. As I was pondering these things, it was at that point that I realised. Put my hands to my pockets. I was like, "Fuck! The fucking cunt stolen my phone." He's still got my phone attached to his fucking knob, and he's flown off somewhere in the fucking galaxy now. I'll never see that again. 50 quid that cost me. At that point, I was just like, "Fuck their humanity, thieving cunts." Absolute cheek of him.